Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like it is my obligation to aware all of you about the nation's most recent epidemic. Our country is afflicted with the terrible disease of obesity. We have the highest percentage of residents that are overweight, and it must stop. Every year, hundreds of people perish to this monstrous sickness, and it pains me to believe that these people are not in control of their lives. Obesity has a simple antidote: exercise. People who grow overweight most likely have an eating disorder, and blame it on their unnatural desire to devour whatever they lay their hands upon. But as Newton's third law states, for every action there must be a reaction. If people grow overweight from eating, then they have the chance to exercise so obesity does not ruin their lives. Fellow citizens, it is clear that the rates of obesity in America is only growing, and we must take action. If we do not create regulations of unhealthy food and limit the amounts that are easily accessible, sooner or later we will all be shocked to notice that America consists of 50% overweight individuals and the death rates will only rise. We have given overweight people enough time to prove that they can lose weight individually, but they are unable to because their priorities are jumbled. Eating a cupcake comes before standing up. Going for a walk is not even a visible picture in their minds, unless of course it is a walk to the fridge to obtain more food. The bottom line is that we have to take more affirmative action. I believe that junk food and other unhealthy products should be regulated and even illegal, just like cigarettes and alcohol, because it is equally harmful to our health and it must be stopped. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 2/3 of American adults are overweight or obese, and obesity is now the second largest contributor to premature death in the United States. Now picture that. Do me a favor and notice the person to your right and the person to your left. Now include yourself and imagine this. One of you three are soon to be overweight and struggling with what is known to be the hardest challenges of your life. You will be battling death, and the scary part is that you will be out of shape, so exercising feels like torture. I know it is hard to believe that this is true, but I can promise it is indeed a reality. Nearly 34% of adults are obese, which is double the amount 30 years ago, and we must stop this growth. But why do obesity rates increase? We must discover the cause before we invent a solution. Is it a natural disaster? Have human eating habits just evolved into eating large proportions uncontrollably? I believe not. I believe that the cause is simple, yet many people fail to identify. In this year and age, there is an abundance of junk food. Today, there are around 50,000 McDonald's in America, and wherever I travel, I can count on seeing one of those notorious greasy buildings, even in the middle of the Nevada desert. And McDonald's is only the beginning. If you add all of McDonald's competitors into the count, such as Burger King and Wendy's, the number will be up in the sky. And to take it one step further, all the snacks and unhealthy junk food people devour in grocery stores is also unhealthy. In other words, America is producing food that, although may be delicious, is a physical embodiment of a heart attack.
Sir.
Yes, you in the back.
What are you sitting on?
You know what I'm sitting on. This is what confuses me the most. Why do people eat it if it's known to increase the risk of heart disease and provoke obesity? I have struggled to find the answer to this question, and I have narrowed it down to one thing. Because food tastes good. People eat for the pleasure of eating, not only when they are hungry. And this creates a habit or a need for good food. When people are bored, they eat snacks. And when they pass a Burger King, they think, why not? This is what confuses me the most. Why do people eat it if it is known to increase the risk of heart disease and provoke obesity? I have struggled to find the answer to this question, and I have narrowed it down to one thing. Because food tastes good. People eat for the pleasure of eating, not only when they are hungry, and this creates a habit or a need for food. When people are bored, they eat snacks, and when they pass a Burger King, they think, why not? People act without thinking about the circumstances, which develops into a bad habit. And when people establish a bad habit, it is almost impossible to break. Creating a habit of eating unhealthy food is like riding a train off a cliff. You're on a one-way track to your ultimate doom. I'm sorry. I guess if you look at it from an economic standpoint, you can say that McDonald's and other fast food restaurants are cheaper than the rest, and with the increasing worth of the dollar, more and more people resort to cheaper food, which happens to be more unhealthy. But that's besides the point. I am standing here today to bring forth notice and awareness that for the small benefit of pleasuring our taste buds, we are reducing the length of our lives and spreading an epidemic that is sweeping our nation. As I stated earlier, it is obvious that the epidemic will not be settled by self-respect. We need to call for government intervention. What people are blind to is that there is other food out there that tastes good, and there is food out there that is healthy for you. However, people are so involved with their daily routines and meals that they don't want to expose themselves to something new. I believe that the government should interfere to set regulation on junk food in order for us to change our diets into a more healthy plan. Just like alcohol and other drugs, major causes of premature death to our nation, junk food should also be considered a major threat to health. The nation's leading cause of premature death is tobacco. Second on the list is obesity. To put you in perspective, obesity, which is caused from bad eating habits, is factually placed above drugs, alcohol, and even car accidents. If so, then how come you must be 21 to drink, drugs are illegal, and you need to pass a driving test to drive, yet you can start eating cheeseburgers at the young age of 2. It is absolutely absurd how junk food and other greasy products are proven to be more harmful than drugs and alcohol, yet there are no regulations.
Yay! We need regulations!
Besides the fact that unregulated consumption of junk food can cause adult obesity, one of the more serious problems is overweight children. 17% of all children below the age of 10 are overweight or obese. This is a disgusting fact to comprehend. When a human is at an infant stage or a child stage in their lives, their metabolism is hastened and they should be active enough to prevent obesity. However, today it is proven that this is not true. And it all relates back to eating unhealthy food. Imagine your child, and if not your own child, imagine one of your friends or your grandchild being obese as a child and having to deal with it their whole lives. And the worst case is that they are children. So even if they want to exercise and purge themselves of this disease, they would not know what to do. Childhood obesity is a major problem, and to understand its true potential, please watch this following clip.
1 in 5 children in the United States are diagnosed with obesity. That's a lot of our children.
Dr. Polly Rost has a front row seat in the childhood obesity epidemic. She estimates a quarter of American children don't exercise regularly. The average school-age child watches 4 to 6 hours of TV every day, bombarded by commercials for fast food and junk.
Childhood obesity speaks to a culture that is really struggling to build health and fitness into the fiber of our day in, day out weekly activity.
Children in lower income families are twice as likely to become obese. The long-term impact of chronic illnesses stemming from being overweight could crush this country's healthcare system. It is quite possible that for the first time in our nation's history, we will have a generation of children who are sicker and die younger than their parents.
There are serious medical problems, coronary heart disease, cancers, all of those medical concerns will very much impact on the quality of life for children.
But it's a problem that does have a solution.
Be deliberate about setting a healthy balance of work and play and encourage our children to get out and play, to move about, and to possibly model that.
Now picture this. In the near future, the government makes junk food illegal. At first, this must bite your ears, but give me a moment to explain myself. I'm not going to stand here today and say that we should eliminate everything that's tasty. Rather, substitute it with similar foods that also taste good. For example, on one hand, we have Lay's potato chips, and on the other hand, we have a multi-grain chip that tastes just as good. What's the logic of eating the unhealthy chip when there's an equal but healthier substitute? If junk food becomes illegal, the world will surely change for the better. Before we know it, obesity rates will skyrocket down, and America will be on the right track. People will begin to substitute unhealthy foods with foods that will improve everyday life. We will notice that people who used to slump in their homes will be out and about, and in a whole, America will become more lively. Wouldn't that be a serve of justice? It is known that your behavior is directly proportional to your eating habits. Think about it. How many of you have eaten to your limit and then had to stay home because you were suffering from a food coma? Or how many of you have felt disgusting after eating a bad hamburger or fatty foods? It is obvious that there is a correlation, which means that if we want to turn things around, we need to swap the detrimental foods with beneficial ones. America's production and activity will rise. Of course, the regulation of junk food will send a shiver down your spine, but many political figures have already begun to regulate sources of junk food. Several weeks ago, New York's Governor David Paterson established an excise tax on soft drinks in order to gain more money for the government. Therefore, Paterson is putting soda at the same level as alcohol and cigarettes, other products that also have an excise tax. Besides financial reasons, Paterson also states that he targeted soft drinks because it is one of the most commonly consumed products in New York, and he believes that the rapid consumption of soft drinks must come to a halt. He states, soft drinks are one of the most unhealthy products, and unfortunately it reigns chief as the most commonly consumed drink. By creating this excise tax on soft drinks, he hopes to reduce its levels of consumption, simply because soda holds tons of sugar and an outrageous amount of chemicals and other unnatural or unhealthy ingredients. So far, Paterson's revolutionary move has not proven to be detrimental, and in fact, the numbers have morphed to fit his favor. Less soda is being consumed, which has a direct correlation to an increase of health. Just by adding an excise tax on soda, Governor Paterson was able to reduce the level of obesity. Not by a lot, but enough to feel accomplished. If Paterson's small financial move ended up proving beneficial to America's health, then imagine the horizons created if junk food left the picture. At first, it will not be easy. We will have to change what we are so accustomed to something new, which is never an easy task. But in the long run, imagine your children living healthy lives growing up in a land where the risk of becoming obesity is at a low. And then you will look at yourselves and feel more accomplished, because I promise you that you will be more active, in a better shape, and overall more successful as an individual. If the government decides to ban junk food from being produced in the near future, I beg on all of you to accept the challenge, because it will surely end up beneficial to you, your family, and your society.
Yay! Good job! Good job!
If the government believes that junk food should remain legal, then here are some other activities and exercises that can help you lose weight and prevent obesity. For starters, if you are overweight, walking for 5 minutes could feel like you're running for an hour. So do yourself a favor, get a group of friends, and take a walk outside. I'm sure that you will enjoy the results. Even including 10 minutes of exercise into your daily routine will help you lose weight and become a healthier individual. One of the most important things is that you have to resist the urge to eat more food. 3 meals a day, as large portions as you want, but resist the urge to have unhealthy snacks throughout your day. I'm sure that it will help you become a healthier individual, and you will feel like a better person, and you will feel great. There are many things that you eat every day that can be replaced with healthier foods to make you a more healthy individual. For example, juices are filled with sugar, and although they might be delicious, they are very, very, very bad. How about, instead of having a glass of juice, you replace it with a glass of water? On the other hand, if you're a suds lover and love drinks such as beer and soda, you can replace it with seltzer, a more healthy drink that will also satisfy your need for bubbly. When you eat unhealthily, you tend to lack on your daily vitamins. Therefore, buy some of these gummies or take some supplemented vitamin C and other vitamins that will help you become a more healthy individual, and you will definitely lose some weight. Worst case scenario, if you're a huge snacker and believe that you would not be able to stop, here's an idea. How about you replace the hamburgers, the donuts, all these unhealthy products with healthier substitutes, such as Nature Valley Crunchy Oats and Honey, and so maybe you can have a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios that will help lower your cholesterol, and even, why not try some fruity nuts? Folks, the best thing that you could do for your body is eat some fruit and vegetables. These miraculous wonders created by Hashem the Lord Himself will help you become a more healthy individual by providing you with vitamins that you need every single day, that will help you become not sick, that will help you gain energy so you can exercise. These fruits are the bottom of the pyramid for becoming healthier individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, over here I have set up a game for us to play to help us understand which foods are good and which foods are bad. First product is eggs. Alright? Eggs are an excellent source of protein, and they are indeed extremely healthy for you. They are a perfect supplement in the morning for breakfast and replace that disgusting fatty bagel that you have every single morning. We're going to close the eggs and we're going to put them over here on the good side because they are the best breakfast that you can possibly have for your body. Second of all, we have the mayonnaise that, although it has eggs in it, is filled with other fatty and all this other oils and other gross stuff that just make it very unhealthy. And although you might love that turkey sandwich for lunch, I advise you guys to stick with mustard and get away from the mayonnaise. On the other hand, my mom's specialty, we have the beet salad, the Russian beet salad. This stuff cannot be better for you. Beets are an excellent source of vitamins and antioxidants, and they are, if you have this every single day, I promise that you will live until 120. And last but not least, we have the notorious and infamous butter. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. A little bit of butter could be on the good side, but too much butter can cause a heart attack by the age of 40. My advice is to stick away from butter, and you will be on the right track to a healthier and more better life. As you guys have seen, by spending at least 15 minutes of your day, and by replacing unhealthy foods with healthy foods, you guys can step away from your life as an overweight individual and start making your way towards a life filled with happiness, healthiness, and success. Obesity is a rampant disease that must be stopped, and it is our job to act upon it to save the lives of adults and even children in America. Exercise is a simple solution, but after time and time, it has fallen. Now it is time to take our trials a step further. Junk food, fatty foods, and unhealthy foods have proven to diminish the respect and honor that America held, and it is now time to eliminate the problem so that America can become the Lady of Liberty as we know it, unconfined by the fetters of obesity.